3 leopards, 1 shot. Epic. This is as good as it gets, guys. We are being absolutely spoilt by this. I don't know if Shadow knows what to do. She's kind of back and forth trying to kind of talk to him a little bit, and then goes away, and then she comes back again. But wow, I mean, it's, like I say, as epic as you could ever ask for. Brenda, you're wondering how old Shadow's cub is now. So Shadow's cub is now, will be a year old around the 1st or 2nd of January. Somewhere there is where it was born, and we know that it was around that time because we actually were on an impala carcass with Shadow, and she got up heavily pregnant and ran without even eating the impala. She had just killed it, and she just ran from the carcass all the way to a drainage line. She was then spotted the very next morning with suckle marks, and she completely abandoned that kill. So she wouldn't have killed an impala and not gone back to feed off it if she hadn't given birth. And so it was about a year ago, so January 1st, January 2nd, somewhere there. But look at the light on these two. This is just so beautiful. These two are in the most perfect golden morning light. Look at that. I think this is the best sighting I've had of this little cub as well, because it used to be a skittish little cub. Now look at it, it's now super relaxed, walking around, vehicles around, doesn't matter too much, just doing its own thing and being as normal as you could ever wish for. Let's see if Tingana's still here. If he's still here, then maybe we'll be able to sit with him. Oh, there she is. She's right in front of us. She's on her way back to Tingana, which is good news. So, there we go. You two almost gave us the slip. Well done. This is absolutely amazing. What's wrong, girl? I still think she might have a kill somewhere that she was trying to take this cub to, and she's now having to do delay tactics and loops around and go all over the place to try and kind of keep Tingana away. I think Tingana's moved a little bit towards sort of pangolin trackside, because I can see a vehicle in the distance there, and I think that's the one that's with Tingana. So I think Shadow and Cub are coming back to Chelapan, but no Tingana here that I can see. So you see, she's just scenting where Tingana walked, so she's kind of having a look. But that light on those two is spectacular. It is as good as one could ever ask for. And that is leopards out in the open, not a single blade of grass in front of them. It is as good as you could ever ask. So look at that, isn't that cool? Oh, and a little break in the shade. Both of them, like mother, like daughter. You can see the little one is just sitting down, just having a bit of a rest now as well. Although this little cub seems to be full of energy this morning. They're probably not going to be... How cool is that? It's not every day that you can say you've heard a male and a female leopard soar in the same morning. Oh, a little swat from little one. You're full of beans this morning, little one. Very naughty. And so, I mean, whether or not they'd be nice to each other, I don't think so. They both are territorial individuals, and therefore they've both got cubs at the moment, so they'll be highly defensive of those cubs. So if they bump into each other, I think there'd be a lot of snarling, a lot of growling, a lot of hissing. Whether or not they would actually fight, I'm not quite sure. But it's possible. If it's anything to defend their cubs, it doesn't matter if they were sisters before, they most certainly will defend their cubs. But I would like to think that these two most definitely would recognize each other if they're in, and both of them will be okay. What is interesting to me is it's amazing how both have pushed back into their natal territory. So even though Shadow and Thandi were both dominant in other areas, they've both forsaken their sort of southern boundaries to push north into their natal territory, which is fascinating to me. So I wonder if they're both vying for this area. Maybe they know that this is a great area to have cubs and den sites, and so that's why they're kind of having so much competition between the two of them. So, Philip, now that Shadow has finished her little communication, you're wondering if this is the border between the two of them. Well, it's difficult to say because Tundi and Shadow seem to keep kind of having fluid movements, and they keep overlapping with each other. So I've seen Tundi far to the west, so towards Treehouse Dam, and going south from there, and now we're seeing Shadow pushing northeast into the Mulawati, close to the lodge and towards Gari Dam. So it's two very kind of females that are both trying to establish themselves here and trying to take over their old mother's territory, and each one is trying to get the best part of it. And so I think there's still a bit of settling going on and a bit of kind of competition, but I can tell you Tundi, if she's anywhere nearby and is hearing this, is not going to be very happy. I'm pretty sure her blood is going to be boiling if she's hearing another leopard calling both male and female. So I wouldn't be surprised she does show up in this sighting at some point this morning. The more she's hearing this, I'm sure the more she's going to come in here and see what's going on. So isn't that just the coolest thing? Oh, we are being so spoiled this morning. This is really very special. Look at that. So even though she does growl at that little cub a little bit, you can see she still does have a lot of affection for it. And oh, look at the size of that little one's paw and the claws already. At a year old, look at that paw. It is massive, still going to grow quite a bit. No, Mom, don't push me over. Oh, this is very special. Mom, play with me. Stop looking at the vehicles. I want you to play with me rather. This little one's got lots of feistiness in it. I like it. It's cute, and it seems to have a lot of playful energy. Of course, obviously it's a leopard, so there's no chance that I wasn't going to like it, but I just like its demeanor. It's come out of its shell a lot since. So there they are. They're both together. So Tingana's here. Don't know where the cub's gone. The cub's gone behind us somewhere. It's just coming now. Oh, there it is. Hello, little one. Where have you been bounding off to? So once again, all three of them are together, which is just insane. So it is so cool to see this. It is not every day that we're going to see 3 leopards in one spot. Let's see if she comes back. You can hear there's a lot of snarling and growling going on at the moment. But Tingana is relaxing. Shadow and Cub are still moving off into the distance and carrying on. So I don't know if they're going to stop. I think I'm going to sit with Tingana a little bit longer and just see where they go. They might come back this way. But now, it is very cool to see, but little cub has caught itself a baby scrub hare. So we just saw a scrub hare come bursting out the bush past us. Shadow, I think, was the one that first caught up with it, and then she let it go for this little one to come and grab it. So you can see it's got a little scrub hare between its paws there. It's just opening up the stomach now. So it managed to grab it, and I don't even know if that is still dead, that little scrub hare. Shame. I hope it is. Either way, it's been mangled a little bit, but it seemed like the ears moved a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully it's not alive, because the poor thing is being bitten and chewed. Unfortunately, we missed the best part, or the chase of this whole thing. I suppose it's always sad when an animal dies. So, you know, if those of you that are a little squeamish, probably now is the best time to look away. Well, indeed, Shadow and little one are really having a good session of grooming, and it's been so sweet to watch them. They've, you know, sometimes Shadow can be a little grumpy with their cub, especially because the little one bounces around all over the show, but after their scrub hair meal, it's now time to get that little cub clean, get off any blood that it's got on it or bits of fur from the scrub hair. And so Shadow is giving it a really good groom, and it's just so nice to see the two of them kind of lounging together. It's starting to get nice and warm as well, which hopefully this afternoon it will be the three of them again, although little one has decided otherwise. It wants to go now and investigate other things and see what else is out there and see what else is happening. So little one is just coming past us. How cool is this little thing? This little one, and who knows what Tundi's new one is. It looks like Tundi's new one might be a little female as well. I'm not 100% sure. I checked the footage and it's very difficult to say whether it's male or female, but it looks like it might be a little female. Anyway, it's nice to have at least some females around that can continue the legacy.